Well, good morning. We are on Legian Beach and we're heading up the coastline to relax for a good walk and a good conversation. I'm really enjoying this time in Bali. Bali has become kind of a second home for me. To give you a little background about Bali and my family, there are members of my family that are involved with things that happen in Bali as far as manufacturing. And in the past videos of times that I've come to Bali, I've shown you some of that. In the future, I will again. When the time comes, I'll be a little bit more open about some of the manufacturing work that my family does here in Bali and things along those lines. But one of the things about coming here to Bali, for me, is really about turning it all off. You see, I'm in a phase in my life where I am not trying to build a business. I am not trying to develop new industries. I am maintaining an investment company and I am enjoying my time off. Man, I worked for 35 years, baby. I'm ready to chill out. I'm ready to relax along a beautiful beach, and I'm ready to enjoy my life without the stress of trying to build and grow something. And man, it feels good. It's something that I worked really hard for. When I look back at the years that it took to get here, it was anything but a smooth road. And it made me realize that there's something that I haven't talked about with you for a while. And that is the steps along the way when you fail. It's a reality. These things do happen. There are times when you're going to fail. And during those times, I probably learned more about myself and about the business that I was in than any other. You see, you don't really learn a lot from your business and from your life just going smooth, okay? It takes something to happen. It takes something to happen that's negative. Then you start to learn and you say, whoa, I made a mistake. I need to make some adjustments. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Why it's okay and maybe even beneficial to fail. Also, we're going to enjoy a nice bite to eat here in beautiful Seminyak. Seminyak is an area of this beach along here that has beautiful resorts and gorgeous restaurants. I'm still bringing you low-cost meals and low-cost lodging. That's important. I want to bring that to you in these videos. The luxury is here, baby. This is Bali, come on. But we try to live an affordable life, but still an enjoyable and healthy life. We got a lot to talk about today, and I am looking forward to bringing you not only this message, but some of the great sights that I'm seeing here in Bali. Man, I love it. Okay, let's get started. I love getting started early like this in the morning. The beaches are pretty clear. Let's have a seat and let's talk. I'm glad we're getting a chance to go over this. I will tell you a story. When I was in the military, we didn't make much money in the military, so I worked a second job. And I thought a fun and good paying job on the side would be to work as a bartender. So it was a step-by-step process. I had to go to a bartending school in Honolulu. I got this certificate. It was a very interesting school. I liked it a lot. And then I went and applied for jobs at different bars. And one that I got was actually on the naval base, on Pearl Harbor Naval Base. It was the busiest bar in the state of Hawaii. It was the enlisted club on Pearl Harbor. And I thought, man, this is gonna be perfect. There's so many customers. I'm gonna make lots of money in tips. The pay that they gave you was like minimum wage, but you got money in tips. And I worked really hard. Every day I would show up after I get done with the military. I would go over there and I would work. I worked several nights a week. I really busted my butt. Well, time came that they were making cuts. They were making cuts in employees. And I was one of the people that got cut. And it was frustrating. I thought, man, I worked so hard for this job and I worked so hard at this job. Why was it? I felt like a failure. I felt like I had put so much into this And now I had failed at this job. That was my mindset because I was a young man. I was in my early 20s. And you know what? That's the way you feel about anything. Anything that goes wrong in your life, you feel like you failed. That's the mindset because you don't have any experience. You don't know that, okay, now you move on to the next chapter in your life. That's not how you look at it. I looked at it like I had failed at something. And I looked at who it was that got kept. Who was kept at the job. And what I realized now, later in life, is the people who stayed at the job and did not get cut, they were actually cross-trained into opening up. They were cross-trained in security. They were cross-trained in doing the books, paperwork. They were cross-trained in doing the inventory, such as they had to go through every day and they had to weigh all the alcohol and count how many everything had. These were all separate jobs. And the people who stayed at the job were the people that were cross-trained in multiple fields. They weren't just coming in, working as a bartender, taking their tips, and walking out the door. Thank you. That's a lesson that it took time for me to learn. Making myself valuable at the job. Making it so that letting me go would be a detriment to them. They shouldn't let me go because they're actually losing something. I didn't understand that at the time. That is the first lesson in failure that I want you to learn. When something happens to you and you take it as a failure, you take it as a loss, that something terrible has happened, or something you planned, let's say that, something you planned goes the other direction. You might find out that it's not the world conspiring against you, but it's that you did not plan well and you did not take the proper steps that could have got you through that. It's a lesson in life. It's something that you learn. It's not this, oh, woe is me. It's that, okay, now I got it. At the next job, I know what I need to do differently. In my life, I now know what mistakes I made and what I need to do differently. That's a life lesson. It's not a failure. And if you take anything from this video, it's to be able to make that separation. Where did I fail and where did I fail to adapt? They're two very different things. I love these little stands that are along the waterway here. Little family-owned operations. They'll make food, everything. This one is going to be a little iced coffee and fruit juice stand. Fresh, everything, great price. Gonna get a nice cappuccino iced coffee here. Oh, you guys do fruit juices over here. Nice. Oh, look at these. Ooh, these look good right here. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Grab myself a nice iced coffee and head out for a little walk here. It is beating down, man. The sun is getting to me. I'm going to find myself a place to sit down with some shade. By the way, the number one question that I get is about travel healthcare and travel insurance. The first link in the description will help you find both. The next thing that I want to talk about is when you take failure personal and you don't realize it's simply things changing around you. And for that, I looked at times like when I ended a relationship or went through a divorce. You can easily take the end of a relationship or even a divorce very personal. Or what you can realize is people change. That's right. People change. You do not have the power to control what other people do. You might think that you do. You might say to yourself, I do, but reality is you don't. You have the power to change you. You have the power to make positive or even negative changes in your own life, but you can't change others. And sometimes when relationships come to an end or you go through a divorce, you take it very personal. But if you realize that these are changes that happen because other people around you are also going through that human experience, they're changing as well. It gives you a very different outlook on that. You don't feel like, my gosh, you know, I did all this stuff wrong. No, and neither did they. Okay? That is part of the Buddhist mindset that I had to gain years later in life, to understand it's not about pointing fingers, it's not about taking blame, and it's not about putting blame on others. It is life, it is change, it is things that happen, and you flow with it and you move forward, and don't blame yourself and don't blame others. The third thing that I want you to understand is that when you quit something, it's not necessarily a fail. When do you quit something? Let's talk about that. The time that I believe you quit something is when you no longer have anything to offer it, and it no longer has anything to offer you. That's when you realize it's time to quit and move on from it. That is not failure. That is a better understanding of where you are and where that is, whether it's a job, a relationship, an investment, anything that it might be, whatever project you started, a business that you started, anything. When it is no longer offering anything to help you grow, and you can no longer offer anything to it to grow and become better, that's the time to quit. And that is not a failure. If there is anything that I want you to understand here, it's that there's a big difference between quitting something and failing at it. I got a secret for you. No one's listening? Okay, good. It's just us. You're normal. If you've had failures in your life, if you've had to move on from something, if you've had to take losses, if you've had to rebuild yourself from a loss financially, if you had to rebuild your heart after a lost relationship, you know something? You're normal. And you went through the same thing that everyone else is going to go through. You will be okay. And you have learned something that's quite valuable, and now you can move forward a better, smarter, more capable person, capable of adapting in life. There's only one way that you can gain experience, and that's by getting out of the house and living life. That's the only way. And I think it's invaluable that we do that, and don't be afraid of failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay.
This is holy guacamole. Every time I come to Bali, I love to come here. During the daytime, there's hardly anyone out. Bali is a nighttime destination. Everybody is out at night, packed. But during the day, a place like this is very quiet. And Holy Guacamole has great lunch specials. Enough food actually to get 2 meals. They have these large lunch meals that are about $8, and I'll show you how much food that you get. It's quite amazing. This one has enchiladas, quesadillas, a taco, fresh guacamole, everything on the side. Just fantastic. This is an $8 meal. I think that probably one of my favorite places to go for lunch is Holy Guacamole. I like to show it to you every time I come here to Bali and try out one of the lunch specials. And also, I just think it's a great place to stop by. It's the staff is very friendly. This is the way I like to eat when I travel. $8, I eat about half of it while I'm here. I take the other half back to the room and I'll eat it later on tonight. And this is low-cost living, traveling, still enjoying healthy and delicious meals, just not paying a lot. This is a low-cost nomad lifestyle that I like to live.
I want to thank you for the time that you spent with me today. This has been an important topic that I've been wanting to cover for a while. I talked about it a little bit about a year ago, and I thought it was time that we really have a good sit-down discussion about failure and about how the successes in my life, while they've been like, yay, I haven't learned anything from them, really. I really learned from the times when things went the wrong way. That's when I actually gained experience and made new changes in my life. And I wanted to talk about that with you today. If you want to learn about the equipment that I travel with in my backpack around the world, including the sandals that I wear, the backpack that I use, everything that I bring with me to be a minimalist traveler, just look at the links in the description and you'll find all of it. You'll find my favorite items that I travel with. I am really loving this time in Bali, and we've got a lot more to see. I'm gonna be here in Bali enjoying not just the beach area, but we're gonna be traveling to other parts of Bali as well. Would you like to learn more about low-cost living, traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack, living a healthy and positive lifestyle, affordable in retirement? Well, if you would, like and subscribe the video and come along with me, because you're more than welcome. All right, I'm gonna go find a nice cool drink today. Look at how, the sun, everything, it's beating down on me. I'm ready to go get a nice cool drink. We'll talk again soon. Aloha.
I thought I was safe wandering the beautiful sands of Bali, but then they found me. The mad attack dogs of Legian. Just look at them. One's awake while the other one is resting. Trained, one to stay alert for threats, like a recon patrol. Bloodthirsty. Look at him licking his chops and ready to take me out. The mad dogs of Legian.
It's not always, okay, try it again. Oh my gosh, okay, ready?